So I'm now going to go through some examples for you just to highlight what I mean by critical incidents, and hopefully it will put some context into this understanding of what a critical incident or a project event is. So let's go through an example of a critical incident in some detail first, just to demonstrate what it is you should be looking for in the first instance, and then how to incorporate it into your case study. Then I will go through some other examples just to help you get a better fix on what you can apply as a critical incident, as I know some graduates can become entangled as to what might constitute a critical incident and what might not. So essentially there are about 5 aspects associated with dealing with a critical incident. Now let's look at a possible incident. Take, for example, during the construction phase of a residential project, let's say, the contractor encountered unforeseen soil conditions that threatened the structural integrity of the building. It might be a block of apartments, or it might be a large house, or whatever, it doesn't matter. Indeed, it could be shifting sand, say, or it could be a high water table, or even an underground river that was discovered. This is pretty serious stuff, and whilst it may not have happened on your project, these have actually happened on mine, so I can draw personal reference to these. So what are the challenges? Well, the project faced potential delays and increased costs due to the need for additional structural reinforcement. That goes without saying. It may even necessitate additional time for a total foundation redesign. It might also impact on the superstructure design, where additional costs and time may be required. So how did you and your team respond if these were similar situations or something allied to that you encountered during your project? Well, the architect collaborated with, your response would be the architect collaborated with the structural engineer and the contractor to develop an alternative foundation design that would be more suitable for the soil conditions uncovered, while minimizing the impact on the project's timeline and budget. So that's sort of a typical response I would expect, but you might be able to put some more meat and flesh that up a bit more, because you know your own project for what it is. Now, you might wish to describe the outcome for that particular event. And let's just say, for example, the revised foundation design was implemented successfully and the project was completed with minimal additional costs and time delays. By explaining a little bit more about this achievement provides greater weight and validity to your case study. So again, this is the sort of thing you need to flesh out, explain how you actually put some more detail around that. Now, the team gained, could go on to say, the team gained valuable experience in addressing unforeseen challenges and adapted their approach. You may wish to expand on this more fully, just as I said, just to demonstrate your all-round understanding of the incident in question and what it took to arrive at a sensible and pragmatic solution. You may wish to describe the level of interaction that was required between the entire design team and to what extent the main contractor contributed to the process. So you might say to yourself, well, what lessons were learned then? Because I'm trying to run through a typical example using this particular incident as to how you might approach it. Well, the lessons you might have learned would be, well, the incident highlighted the importance of thorough site investigations, effective communication between team members, and the ability to adopt and find creative solutions under pressure. You might wish to expand on what, in your opinion, could have been done better and why. Did all the design team contribute to this incident, or did some feel it was not under their specific area of expertise? Explain why that was the case and what could have been done better. In all of the above aspects referred to, you will know more about the specifics of your particular project and should be able to elaborate and expand on each of these so as to demonstrate your thorough knowledge and understanding of the incident and how it was managed by the architect, albeit perhaps in collaboration with other members of the design team. That's the total project design team. Now, I'm just getting my thoughts together. Let me now outline some more simple examples, and I won't go into so much detail about it, but let me outline some more simple examples, as I say, of what might be deemed worthy as an incident for you to highlight within your case study. They may relate to some aspect of your selected project, or they may act as a catalyst for recalling what event occurred in your particular project. So I'll just run through, I think I've got about 3 or 4 more examples, just maybe to help gel your memory on and get some instant recall. So the second example then would be maybe this. Let's take a look at our next example then, and we'll consider, suppose during the design process you discovered a significant site constraint, such as a protected tree or heritage building. Now, I know you would have already carried out your own site and planning research in advance, but even so, these sort of incidents do crop up at any time during a project. Again, I know from experience. Maybe something similar happened with yours. If such an event occurred at the pre-construction stage, this would require you to adopt your design and accommodate this constraint while still meeting your project's objectives in design terms. In your case study, you would discuss the challenges posed by this constraint, how and why it came about, how you addressed it, and the impact or not on your overall design approach. Now, this shows your ability to respond effectively and indeed decisively to unforeseen obstacles or risks, as they are sometimes referred to, and to make informed project decisions. After all, being an architect is not just about the building design, the design of the building. It's also about managing the project generally, whatever that may entail. And I can assure you, it is much more than just the building design. Now, I'm going to go on to another example. And our next example is a change in the project brief, due maybe, say, to evolving clients' needs. Perhaps the client decided midway through the project to increase the building's sustainability requirements. Now, I know from personal experience again, this can be a trendy subject, but equally, some clients buy into it, some don't, and it's usually around costs, whether they want the prestige of it or whether they just want the building without the prestige. And I know that. Now, in this case, you would describe how you adjusted your design strategies and materials to meet these new requirements and the impact it had on the project outcome in the end. Now, there could be time implications and additional cost implications as well. Now, this demonstrates your flexibility and willingness, of course, to adapt your approach in response to changing circumstances. Now, you've got a lot to talk about there, how you manage that. Okay, so I hope I gelled something for you about that. Now, there is also an opportunity, of course, for you to explain how the change in your project budget was managed, how it was impacted upon, and did you have to design out other elements of the project to compensate for this design change, to accommodate the new sustainability ingredients. And at what point in this redesign did you uncover the potential additional cost and report the same to the client? And what impact did this new cost information have on your project going forward? So maybe these new sustainability issues were instigated by some planning requirements. Now there's something else. And suddenly it became a vital ingredient with regards to achieving your planning permission. And that does happen as well. During the course of your planning conversations and deliberations, that they're looking for this and they're looking for that, and okay, it wasn't necessarily in your original design considerations, but in order to get the planning through, that's something that has to be taken on board, and the client has to be kept informed about that at all times, because after all, the planning permission is the deciding factor, because without it, there is no project. That's just a by the by, I know. So I want to go through another example then. So another example of a critical incident could be could be a conflict with local planning regulations. Now, this is a topic that can be contentious, and you're bound to be confronted with during your architectural career. None of us escape that. Most of us are, as I say, that's for sure, and it is not just in the UK. I know it happens in other countries as well, whether it's New Zealand, Australia, the US. You know, none of us are exempt from that. So imagine you designed a building with an unconventional form, but it faced objections from the planning authorities and maybe those ubiquitous interested third parties I sometimes refer to. And they are also interested in your project. Naturally, we know who they are. You would need to negotiate and revise your design to meet the planner's comments and observations, and even requirements, while still seeking, of course, to preserve the design vision, the overall concept for the project. In your case study then, and using the 5 headings I've used for the first critical incident example, you would outline the steps you took to navigate these challenges and the lessons learned from the experiences. This highlights your ability to collaborate with stakeholders and find creative solutions, really, to complex problems. Now, I will place this example in the description below, so you can refer to them and use them as an aide-memoire. So you'll find them there. Just at this point, my colleague Mario has just asked me that if you like the information of this episode so far, he'd really appreciate your like. Many thanks for that. The next example I'd like to quote, I think this is the final example I can think of right now, is a critical incident involving teamwork and collaboration. So let's say your project faced a tight deadline due to an unexpected event, requiring the team to work closely and more efficiently to meet the target. You would discuss the strategies you employed to ensure effective communication, delegation of tasks, and time management, etc. This shows your leadership skills and your ability to work under pressure and commitment to delivering a high quality project despite the challenges. Now, citing critical incidents in your Part 3 case study is essential for demonstrating your analytic and problem-solving skills, your adaptability and professional development, of course. By including these incidents and events, you provide a comprehensive and insightful narrative that demonstrates your unique journey as an architect in practice. That's what we're talking about, getting ready to become an architect in practice. So, as you prepare your case study, be sure to identify and discuss critical incidents and events that have influenced your project and your decision-making process in some way. Some incidents will be more critical than others, as I said, but select the ones that you feel had more impact on your project. And this will contribute to you creating a compelling and engaging case study that sets you up for a successful outcome. Now, you don't have to struggle alone when preparing your case. So Architect Knowhow is here to help you overcome any difficulties you may have in your case study preparation. So take advantage of our experience in helping graduates, as we do, with their case studies. You'll have access to personal written feedback. You'll avoid the usual pitfalls. You'll enhance your case study content and presentation, and you'll obtain a fresh perspective and evaluation on your case study content. And you'll also get the benefit from practicing architects with real world practice and experience, and cut through the mental blocks that you have and the barriers, and keep your case study progress on track and under control. So if you want to maximize your case study potential and boost your opportunities of success, refer to Architect Knowhow's case study program. And again, I leave the link in the description below. You'll have access to all the information you need there. Give yourself the edge, I would suggest, to excel in your architectural journey. And Mario's just whispered in my ear again for your like. Mario is our like guru who monitors all the algorithms, and he does a great job. So thanks again for that. Really appreciate that. Now, there are other episodes relating to our case study series, which will help you with your case study preparation. And I'll see you over there next. So thanks for joining us today. Bye for now.